All right, we're gonna finish up number 5. Number 5 is object E. We're still finding volume. Volume equals length times width times height. So we plug in our numbers for object E, which is 5 centimeters times 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter. So we do our math. 5 times 1 is 5, times 1 is still 5. So our volume is 5 cubic centimeters because we used multiplied centimeters 3 times. So now we can find our density. D equals M over V. We plug in our numbers. They gave us the mass is 10 grams. We put our volume on the bottom that we found, which is 5 cubic centimeters. We do our math. Our math in the box goes 10. Outside the box is 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. We circle our units. So our answer is 2 grams per cubic centimeter. I'll let you look at that for a second. Make sure you have all the correct answers. All right, let's look at number 6. Number 6, we've got to find the volume again on the object F. Volume equals length times width times height. Volume equals 5 centimeters times 1 centimeter times 2 centimeters. We do our work. 5 times 1 is 5, times 2 is 10. So V with 1, 2, 3 centimeters is 10 cubic centimeters. Now we can find the density. D equals M over V. We can plug in our mass as 1 gram. Our volume we found is 10 cubic centimeters. Our math, be careful on this one. The numerator goes in the house. Norman goes in the house is 1. The donkey or the denominator goes outside, so it is 10. So 1 divided by 10 turns out to be 0.1. We circle our units. So we have 0.1 grams per cubic centimeter. So make sure you check that. Check that on the paper that you have. And we're going to move on to number 7. Number 7, I'm just going to do on the paper here. A cork has a mass of 3 grams and a volume of 16 cubic centimeters. Calculate the density. Well, I'm going to circle density because that's what we're looking for. So I know my formula is going to be D equals M over V. It gave me a mass of 3 grams. And I have a volume of 16 cubic centimeters. Okay, so when I do the math, 3 goes inside the house, 16 goes outside the house. Now it gives you an answer, pay close attention, it gives you an answer of 0.1875. But we know that we only want 2 decimal places. So we go 2 places past the decimal. We look at the neighbor. Here's the neighbor. 7. That is 5 or more, so we're going to add 1 more. So that 8 becomes a 9. So our density is 0.19, circle your units, grams per cubic centimeter. That's something that we've been working on that you really need to pay attention to. 2 places after the decimal. You look at the neighbor, it's 5 or more, you add 1 more. If it's 4 or less, you let it rest. This happens to be over 5, so we are adding 1 more. That's where the 9 came from. Alright, let's do number 8. A thin glass bottle holds 25 milliliters of liquid and has a mass of 19 grams. Calculate the density. So I'm going to circle density because that's what I'm looking for. So I have D equals M over V. Plug in my numbers. My mass is 19 grams. My volume, because it holds, that's how we know, right? Volume, it holds 25 milliliters. So my 19 goes in the house. My 25 goes outside of the house. So 19 divided by 25 gives you pretty 2 decimals. So D equals 0.76. Go circle your units. Very important here because it's different than what we've been using. Grams per milliliter. Okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to count up all the X's that you made, and I want you to put that number at the top, times however many. Now, this should give you a good indication of how you need to study for tomorrow's test. Now, what this paper did not do is it did not ask you to find volume with given the mass and the density, or it did not ask you to find mass given the density and the volume. So that triangle that we study, we really need to study that tonight for your test tomorrow. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to move to a lab. So what I want you to do is I want you to, at your table, get all the papers in a stack, and the substitute is going to come by, and she is going to pick up the papers that she can give to me. You have all your other papers that are not due until tomorrow that you can study with tonight that have good, correct examples on them. And then we are going to move into a lab. So I need you to get out your spiral, and I need you, even if you haven't glued everything in, I need you to move to page 10. Move to page 10, that would be right after your density notes. And we're going to use pages 10 and 11 today in your spiral. So this video is going to end. You are going to get out your spiral. This is a level 1 activity still. We're at a level 1. Your voice should be at a 0. When we go to the lab, we're going to work on our level 3 champs activity.